You got people out here with triple platinum records
From
thinking
streaming.
they rich. I'm rich. I'm gonna just get into it. I hope I don't get in no trouble. But when we do the record, right, in the urban world, you have urban splits and you also have pop splits, right? So once we got to the pop world.
Not in the urban world. The pop world has pop splits.
The pop world has pop splits, I'm sorry. And the urban world has urban splits. Now here's the difference.
Yep, correct.
The urban world, you get paid what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So like the urban world it's the beat is 50%, the lyrics are 50%. If you wrote all the lyrics, you get 50. If I did the beat, I get 50. If you wrote 20% of the lyrics or the hook and I wrote the verses, I'm getting 80, you're getting 20. I'm gonna get a bigger percentage. That's urban. If it's pop, we split it 50-50 no matter who does what.
Exactly.
Right? So when we did the splits, Tehran, they got the splits. We did pop splits, right? Because I'm like, they had urban splits. I'm like, I'm not, Sierra's gonna get the same amount as everybody else. Like we're doing pop, right? She contributed, that's it, right? Because they set urban splits. Like the producer had this, Tehran had this, Sierra had this. And I'm like, no, everybody get even. We're not doing it.
Right. And
so we did.
There was 3 people on it?
There was 3 people. It was 4.
So 25%.
Because the sample was the 4th.
Oh, okay. The loop?
The loop, that was the 4th. So that got 1/4 Tehran, 1/4 Sierra, 1/4 JR. Now here's the thing. The record goes triple platinum. Independent, right? So can I pull out my phone? You don't mind me doing some math? I don't mind. I mean, so let me just do some math real quick. So if her record went 40 times 3, so for streaming, based on if triple platinum record, Sierra should have made 1.6 million.
On the master.
On the master, which she owned.
Yes.
Now, let's take the if it was.
And where'd you get the 1.62 million from?
Because for every gold record, for every million streams, the label makes $540,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their cut.
Mm-hmm.
$540,000 goes out, and then if I had a let me do this real quick. 1, 2, 3 times 3. So here's how much money the publisher made on a triple platinum record.
Sorry, you mean on platinum? Yeah, not for every platinum.
Triple platinum.
Yeah.
Triple platinum. So this is I'm measuring. I'm actually using that song.
Yeah.
So the song made what 1.6 million for the master, and the publisher's 270,000. Right.
That's gotta be split.
That's crazy.
4 ways.
So now we gotta split that 4 ways.
Yeah.
But Sierra owns the master because it's independent. So Sierra made 1.6, and then she gets 1/4 for the 270.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, she is the artist, and that's well deserved. But at the end of the day, it was Tehran's idea. It was Tehran's everything. And, he probably made what? Let me do this real quick. I'm going to just do this. Divided by So that means on a triple platinum record, this is how much Tehran made for his 25%.
And that's $67,500.
$67,500. A triple platinum record.
Crazy.
You got people out here with triple platinum records
From
thinking
streaming.
they rich. I'm rich. You just made, like, you know what I mean? People call me like, Ray, I got, my old assistant called me. Ray, I got a song on Beyoncé album. Okay, dope. Okay, good for you. Happy for you. So immediately I'm like, how much publisher you walk away with?
Right.
Because you ain't with nobody. And she probably walked away with, like 30, 25% on a record she wrote 50% of, because when you working with a superstar, they're going to take a percentage. So she calls me, right? And she's like, Ray, I want to do a pub deal. She trusts me. She was my old assistant. Ray, I want to do a pub deal. Okay, cool, no problem. That's good. How much money you want? 250,000. Oh, see how your face? I'm like, you got an album cut on a Beyonce album. Don't get me wrong. Art-wise, it is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But money-wise, it is not.
There's no money in that.
So
pipeline.
I'm like, your cut of it is probably worth like $23,000.
Yeah.
But you got the biggest cut on the biggest artist, and then you realize it ain't no money in it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got to do? You got to work with everybody, or you got to start getting creative with how you structure deals.
Yeah.
I want to take a quick break in the pod right now and talk to you guys about something I think could be of importance to you. If you're listening to this pod and thinking, I could really use some personal guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music business, I'm now offering one-on-one private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your music career. Listen, this is the part where you might be thinking to yourself, who the heck is this guy? Well, I got over 17 years of experience in the music business, whether it was working as a manager with artists like Jessie Reyes, or working with major record labels like Island, Republic, Universal Music Group, or Sony, or producing content for high-profile artists like The Weeknd and Eminem, to producing content for elite brands like the NBA and Nike. I can definitely and confidently say I can help you map out your next moves. Whether you want to talk about structuring your team, navigating the industry, scaling your brand, or just simply learning how to make money in this music business, whatever's most relevant to where you're at, let's talk. You can now book for a fee a one-on-one session with me, an artist manager and a podcast host, to help you figure out your next steps. Find the link in the description below to book a one-on-one consultation session. Also, big shout out to those who watch this podcast. Bringing value to an audience who seeks it is a blessing. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. I appreciate you. Now let's get back to the pod.
So you did that. You got creative structure in the deals. Do you mind going into
No, ask me anything, bro. That's why, like honestly, it's probably gonna be my last music interview ever.
I appreciate that. So then,
so like, you
make
ask
sure
me
this is a
anything
good
on
one
music.
over
I'm
here.
taking all my music interviews to my Patreon, but like that's why I want to talk to you, because I like that you're getting into the weeds.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people feel like they focusing on just the fluff. It's
No,
like,
I want to let's get to the
weeds
information, because that's how you learn, right? That's how I learn, how other people.
So here's how I manage Tehran. Here's how I've done his business. So before you even get in the room with him, you got to sit in the room with me. Before, like, Atlantic calls, Ray, we got this girl, we think she's a star, her name is Lizzo, we want to get her on with Tehran? And I'm like, send her to meet me first.
Like, how come?
Because so what happens is labels call people like me and say, hey, Ray, I got this new artist and I need you ASAP. You know how it goes. Right now, I need you to make a record. Oh, okay, cool. I love that. Perfect. Now I start asking a list of questions. They don't even know what I'm asking for. Hey, oh, man, so how long y'all been working on for the project? Oh, about a year. Y'all been in the recording process for a year? How long the artist been working before they got to you, though? 4 years. Okay, cool. That's 5 years. Okay, how many records I got recorded? Hundreds. Okay, cool. That's when I flip it on them. So you got hundreds of records and you still calling me because you need the one?
Right.
So let's stop now.
You got the leverage there.
I just want them to see that the reason why they're running in the hamster wheel is because they haven't spoke to someone that does this.
That's smart.
So I'm like, so now I bring the artist. So I'm like, bring the artist in. So I heard the label's perspective. The label is they all they care about is money. So you just need to know from them as a manager. If you're a manager watching this, you need to know what they trying to. You have to reverse engineer the plan backwards. So somebody come to me and say, Ray, I got an artist. She's a star. Okay, cool. What do you need? Who is she? Oh man, I think she's gonna be the next Rihanna. Okay, cool. Let's reverse engineer. How did Rihanna start? Most people want to pick up where Rihanna's at right now. Oh man, let's do no. Where did Rihanna start? She's a Caribbean girl. So where did she start? In the Caribbean. Hey, Mr. DJ, come on the replay.
Which Chris gave her.
By the way, exactly. Not even the biggest song in her catalog, probably the most forgotten song in her catalog, but probably the most important.
Yeah.
Because it established who she was. She's an artist from the Caribbean. So when people say, I want to be like someone, I'm always like, you got to reverse engineer. So labels call me and say, hey, Ray, I need this artist. Okay, cool. Who are they? They're this. Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. You gave me the answer. They're at their best the new Missy Elliott. Cool. I know what that means. Now I meet with the artist. Now I'm like, they don't know who I am. They probably looking at me like I'm a producer. Like, why am I meeting with this guy? But all I'm doing with them is talking to them. So, because I know what the label wants. So what do you want?
And that's important.
I want to do
a lot
this.
of times the artist isn't aligned with the label.
They're not. And that's why everybody's so unhappy. So I'm like, what do you want? So I want to make this. Okay, cool. Well, your label wants to make this. So here's this. Let's add that piece to it, but let's make sure that we service because I'll tell the artist, as much as you think they suck, as bad as you hate them, they have to make the records work.
Regardless.
So you can hate your label. That's like hating your parents. They're your parents. Unless they let you go and somebody else, those are your parents. So when you're saying I hate the label, you're not understanding that these are the people that you need. So the reality is you need someone in the middle trying to figure out what's needed, what's missing, right? So what I do is I'm in the room and I'm like, so who are you? So now I'm like.
So you have the example of Lizzo. You were saying Lizzo.
You want me to use Lizzo?
Yeah,
perfect.
for sure.
I use Lizzo. So I meet with Lizzo. Lizzo comes to my office. Beautiful girl. The record Truth Hurts is out. I don't know. Mind you, this is just another person I'm meeting with that day. So she comes to the office and, shout out to Lon Ray for calling me like, yo, we got this girl. We think she's a star. And we just can't figure it out. I'm like, cool, no problem. So I go see, Lizzo comes to my office and I like artists when they're mad. Like I like to push buttons, right? So I'm like, what's the problem? What's going on? So Lizzo was like, so she says in the meeting, she says, Ray, my problem is that only gay white men come to my shows. Yeah. And I'm like, what? That's like, and see, what I want people at home to know is like my goal coaching. I go into, that's an interesting problem. Hold on, tell me more. How does that happen?
How does that happen?
So now I want to know more, right? So she gave me the end. My problem is that gay white men come to my show only. only. And we need this, I need more people. So I'm like talking to her. So she's running through her frustrations. Obviously, Atlantic got me in here, waiting around they got me in Atlanta, standing at some Airbnb, waiting for Rock City, Mike Will, or Metro Boomin to get open for me. Like, I'm tired, da-da-da. And I'm like, hold on, so you put music out? She's like, yeah. So I look at the Truth Hurts videos. I'll never forget, I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at the video right here, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, she's a fucking superstar. Oh my God. Because she was showing her body and she was a bigger girl.
Yeah.
And what I know as a consumer is that more women are shaped like Lizzo than they are like Beyonce, right?
Right.
Beyonce is who you strive to be. Lizzo's who you relate to, right? It's the cheat code. So I'm like, wow, like, okay. So I'm looking at the video. So I pause the video. I'm like, what's the problem? Because now I'm excited. I'm like, what's the problem? You are a star. And she's like, I don't know, Atlantic just got me waiting, and they keep telling me Mike McGain is gonna blow my records up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, boom, stop. I figured it out. Why does Mike McGain know about you and not Majima?
And for context, who's Mike McGain?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you that in the context. So I'm like, why does Mike McGain know you instead of Majima? And she goes, who's Majima? And I'm like, Majima is head of R&B.
Yes.
Mike McGain is head of pop.
All at Spotify at the
All
time.
at Spotify. These are, at the time, these are the people that, at this stage, these are the people that everybody in the world is trying to get to, right?
Yes.
Mike, Najima, Tuma, if they said it,
all
it was
people,
golden.
100%.
And they didn't even
this
care.
This is before TikTok, too,
I was about to
right?
say, they didn't even care about the power. It was just like, nah, I just have influence. I'm going to tell them that.
Yeah.
So she says Mike McGain. So I go to her, I think I know what the problem is. And I'm like, why does Majima not know you? And she's like, who's Majima? I said, Majima is a girl who would love you, who looks like you, who would adore you. And she was like, Ray, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a pop artist. No, you're not. That's the problem. That was the problem. You say you're a pop artist, you can't get mad when only gay white men is showing up to your store. Right. You are a black artist first.
Yeah.
Black people need to know you there.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. So she was like, Ray, I'm popping. I'm like, I love doing this with artists because I'll argue as facts. Like, my teaching style is a mirror. I don't convict. I show. I show you, and if you can't see it, then you're not on my level, or you're not on the level you need to be on to win anyway. I'm like, Ruzy, if you can't see, are you fat? You can't see you've gained 50 pounds. You don't see it? No, I'm looking right at myself. Okay, just keep going until you can see it, then you'll do something about it. So I'm like, Lizzo, name the most famous black female artist in the world. Because fame is pop, right? Fame.
You said that to Lizzo?
I said to Lizzo.
Yeah.
So she started naming them. And she goes, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna. And at the time, Cardi B was really on her way. Bodak Yellow was taking off. And she was like, Cardi is coming. And I'm like, what do they all have in common? They all ghetto as hell. They're not just regular, they're ghetto regular. Like, let's be clear. Beyonce wasn't winning when she was saying, Halo, and that Sasha Fierce shit. Beyonce started winning when she's like, riding on that wood, swerving on that wood. That's when she became Beyonce. That's when she became Beyonce. That's when she blew up and became that. Because, I know so much stuff about the music business. Like, I hate to go into it, but I know Columbia didn't believe in Beyonce at some point. Because the 4 album came out, and by the way, it killed it for black girls. That was the Black Girl Weddings album.
Yeah.
Love on Top and Party. We loved that album as black people. But I go into Columbia and I'm talking to one of the top A&Rs, and he says, "Man, we need some records for Beyonce. She's struggling." Bro, Maurice, I look around like I'm looking for.
That's crazy. Where's the cameras?
Where's the cameras? You said something bad about you said Beyonce needs help in a Columbia office. I'm like, oh, they really getting bold. Yeah. You bold to say that.
Yeah.
Beyonce, a few months later, just drops that Beyonce album. She does like 700,000, 800,000, changed the entire music industry. She changed the music industry that day.
With that surprise album.
Let me tell you why. Because she didn't give the audience a chance to think. They wanted to be a part of the conversation. So usually artists are like, drop your album.
And she was the first one to do that,
She was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
She broke. Like, there was like the mold was broken, because then you realize you don't need a hit when you are one.
Yeah.
You the hit already. So all we got to do is, that's why I don't think she makes the greatest records, because she doesn't have to. The audience loves her because everything she does, she's the sauce that makes the song better.
You're right.
You feel what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
So like, back to Lizzo. So we were talking. So I'm like, Beyonce's ghetto. I'm like, Rihanna, ghetto. Nigga smoking weed. Shut up, nigga. Cardi is really ghetto. Nicki looks like Babs. When they try to make black women look ghetto in that movie, big titties, big butt, red color, that's Nicki. She's like Babs. but she's still the biggest in the world. Because when other people see us, they come to us for our experience. If those white men that came to your show, they knew they was coming to a black girl that plays a flute show. They wanted to experience that. That's what they was coming for. They wasn't, a lot of the times we think we have to code switch for the audience. The audience switches codes for us.
Yeah.
Me and you might listen to Hov and be rapping and live word, turn my music high, and then you might play some stuff that make up when we was kids and call my baby on the phone. Got to get a message to let, like we might, you know what I mean? Like music brings us together, but it takes us different places.
Right.
But the most important thing is that where it started, the people know where it came from. And they have to know it came from a black person because you're black. Don't let them people see this record and think they had a pop person and you walk in this black girl, they're like, what the hell? Who fooled me?
Right.
Be black. Be extra black. That's what you are. Be extra. And this is a trick that America has taught black people that I want to stop. America has made it. Every time a black person is there, it's ghetto.
Right.
I was in Dubai a few weeks ago. Everybody smokes hookah.
Yeah.
Old people, young, everybody smokes hookah. Everywhere you go, it's not ghetto in Dubai. As soon as black people do it, it's ghetto. Oh my God, it's ghetto. But I really think that the ghetto is the coolest place in America. So that's kind of like the mind fuck. They say it's ghetto, but once it's ghetto, it exploded. Once the ghetto got it, it's the best thing in the world. So it's almost like, how do you get the ghetto kids to like you? You tell them it's not for them. Oh, I didn't make this for y'all. This for kids in this one. Now ghetto kids like, I want to do it. And now they're so ghetto. Meanwhile, that shit is rising. So I'm saying, so once you start understanding like how people know how to say words that trigger people and make people think, you start realizing it's just semantics. Lizzo, when you come in the room and say you're a pop artist, you basically told every black person, I'm not here for y'all. If you come in the room and say you're a black artist who makes pop music, now black people are like, well, I want to hear this. And white people are like, that's for me too.